Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. So I've been meeting with a couple of friends for a couple of months now, and we're kind of in a discipleship relationship. We're going through a book together that God used tremendously in my own life. It's called Growing Your Faith. It's by Jerry Bridges. And this week when we meet, we're talking about a chapter that got me real excited. Okay. All of the chapters had something significant in them for me. But this one, Mr. Bridges is talking about when he was first a Christian and somebody gave him a list, basically, of things he needed to do, spiritual disciplines he needed to practice to grow in his faith. He says about these, while learning those disciplines, I came to believe that my day-to-day relationship with God depended on how faithfully I performed them. No one actually told me that God's approval of me was based on my performance. Still, I developed a vague but real impression that God's smile or frown depended on whether or not I did my spiritual exercises. And I remember the first time I read that statement, that totally described me. That was at a time in motherhood when, honestly, quiet times were almost non-existent. And I felt like because of that, God must not be pleased with me, and he probably didn't love me as much. And I really struggled with that, and I just felt for a season that my relationship with God was going to need to be on hold until I could get back to my quiet times. And when I read those words, it just gave me such encouragement to know that my spiritual practices aren't the basis of God's love for me. In fact, there is another statement in this book that says, nothing you do can increase or decrease God's love for you. He loves you strictly by his grace given to you through Jesus Christ. And that tells me, that reminds me of the truth. It's not about me. It's all about him. God's love for us is based on his love for us, not on us. He loves us because he created us, because we're his, because he chooses to love us. I just wanted to share that encouragement with you today. I don't know if you struggle with spiritual disciplines or if there's some other thing you feel like you need to do, some other performance you need to have. Being a perfect mother, being the ideal wife, whatever it might be. Is there something that you feel like you need to do in order for God to love you? You know, I think that is a lie that our enemy wants us to believe, because he knows we're not perfect either, and if he can get us to believe that our imperfection keeps God from loving us, well then he's won a little battle, hasn't he? But I want you to know the truth. I want you to believe the truth in your heart. God's love for you is based on his grace given to you through Jesus, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Jesus is perfect. God's love for you is based on him, not based on what you're doing. So would you take that today? Would you just sit quietly for a few minutes, thanking God for his love for you and trusting him to know what is best in you and for you. Have a wonderful, Jesus-ful day.